Hello Leafies, welcome to the first video for 2021 and Happy New Year. I saw a meme recently, it was actually on TikTok, that I saw a video saying that I hate the fact that 2021 is 2021, and for the most part 2020 has been quite a year, and I wouldn't say that it's been like the worst year for me. I think each and every one of us experienced it differently and lost things that others gained, and it was just an overall challenging year. I would say I personally lost things that I wouldn't be able to get back, like a loved one, and I'm pretty sure that so many of you are in the exact same boat. So I just wanted to give you a big hug to start off, and whatever happens in 2021, I am here and we are going to do it together. And I just wanted to thank you for all of the love and the support in 2020. I can't wait to see what 2021 holds. I'm kind of nervous but also really excited, and I haven't seen this video yet, but I'm pretty sure so many people have been doing it, but I just thought of it a couple of days ago, and I really wanted to share 20 things that I learned in 2020. These are the things that I personally learned. Each and every one of us have a different journey in our lives. We go through different things, and I kind of scrolled through my Instagram and my camera roll the past couple of days to just see, you know, what happened this year, what did I experience, and I wanted to share that with you and just kind of like start the year off with my leafies. So if you haven't subscribed yet, or if this is the first time that you click on this video, hi, welcome, my name is Jess, and I call all of you my leafies because I love you, and in Afrikaans terms, a leafie is like my love. And that's what I call my fiance brain. And oh my goodness, there's so many things that happened in this year, and I'm going to share the very first one with you. I personally believe that there will never be the perfect time for anything. I feel like you have to create the perfect time and just kind of make the best of it. I have been wanting to film this video the past couple of days, but the weather has been awful. It's been raining quite a bit in South Africa, and that means it's really difficult to film sit-down videos. I've shared this a bunch of times in my vlogs, which if you haven't watched VLOGMAS, I shared about, I think like 11 or 12 episodes of nice and long videos across December and like the festive season, so I'll link the playlist down below. Also, before I share the rest of the things, I would love to hear maybe 1, 2, or maybe 3 things. 1 is okay, you can share as many as you want, but I would love to know what you learned in 2020, and just leave them down in the comments, or if you want to keep it anonymous, my DMs are always open on Instagram. So yeah, I personally feel that there is no perfect time for anything. I mean, the weather today, you'll see the light changing in this video, but I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna sit down and film this video. It's the first day of the year. It's the 1st of January 2021, and there is never going to be another 1st of January 2021 for me to sit down to film this video, and I just kind of have to make the best of it. And there's so many videos in this year that I didn't film, or that I kind of put off and wasted time putting off because the weather wasn't perfect, or there was maybe a gardener around my complex building. And although some of those things need to be avoided to just like keep the level of professionalism, especially with working with a brand, but I just feel like sometimes you just have to make do with what you have. If you maybe wanted to start a YouTube channel and you feel like it's not the right time, or you feel like you don't have all of the equipment, just start. There is never going to be the perfect time. You are never going to be skinny enough, you're never going to be, you know, pretty enough, or whatever, you know, rich enough, or whatever materialistic thing, or confident enough. The second thing is that you are totally replaceable at your job. You are not replaceable at home, and 2020 taught me to realize that the things that really matter are the things that are not replaceable. If you maybe had an office job and you didn't work from the office anymore, you had to start working from home, I feel that everyone noticed that they worked more, and especially with the lockdown of the economy and after the economy opened again, I feel like we worked a lot more and we gave up a lot of the time with our family and our friends. I know it's a little bit difficult with the second lockdown here in South Africa, to spend time with friends and family, but I mean, we have social media, we have Zoom, we have WhatsApp. Just make the effort to just keep the connection going, and that's definitely something that was a massive wake up for me, because I am so career driven. Sometimes, well, most of the times before the pandemic, I took my laptop to a family braai and I would edit whilst at the table and just trying to get as much work done. But that is I'm trying to do that a whole lot less, because the things that are really important in life are the things that you cannot replace. And you personally, as a mom, as a sister, as a mother, as a friend, as literally you, are not replaceable at home. So make that your priority. Which leads me to the third thing that I learned this year, and that is to spend time with the older people in your life, because you don't know how much time you have left with them. As much as we are getting older, they are also getting older, especially our parents as well. I don't think we realize how precious that connection with a grandparent is. Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna take a breath. I had the best relationship with Brain's grandma, and when she passed away, it was a piece of me went away, and that is just if there's one thing you learn from this video, is to go give your grandma a hug, send her a SMS or a WhatsApp, and just appreciate them, because they won't be around for much longer. They might not even get to know your kids. And if you have a grandparent that is still around, especially if you have kids and they are 𝘱𝘢𝘳𝘦𝘢𝘵, just appreciate them and give them as much love as possible. I personally would have loved to have Brain's grandma and my mom around for our wedding, but unfortunately I mean, we don't have control around how long the people stay in our lives, or our people stay in our lives. So if there's one thing you take from this video, is to spend time with the older people in your life, your grandparents, your mom, your dad. Just cherish them as much as you possibly can. And then the next thing is I'm gonna take a little bit of a breather from the emotional ones, which brings me to the next thing, and it is, if you are not happy, make the change. It is as simple as that. And I know it's difficult with money. We need money to be able to live and pay our bills and be able to do things. But if you are not happy, just make a change. You don't have to quit your job like Brain did. A couple of months ago, in the beginning of the year, just before the lockdown, I noticed a change in behavior with Brain and his happiness, and I extended the invitation to him that if he wants to quit his job, we obviously had our ends covered. I would love for him to work with me, and we did for a couple of months, and now he is back to something that he loves, which is software development, and he does help me here and there. But if you are not happy, just make a change. I read, or I listened to a podcast the other day where it says that if you really want to own your own ice cream shop, and you get a job at a law firm which pays really well, would you take that? 90% of people would most likely take the job at the law firm. But what if you got an internship to work at an ice cream shop for a couple of months and learn the ins and the outs, and maybe you can one day own your own shop? And not a lot of people think in that way. So I just wanted to say that if you are not happy, maybe start something on the side and just get a little bit of excitement and happiness going, and then with time you will be able to quit your job and do something that you really love full time, because as an advocate for doing something that I love, I do agree with that. If you enjoy what you do, you don't ever work a day in your life, and that is completely true, like hands down. So if you are not happy, just make a change. It can be small, it can be big. Everyone always says, don't think about it too much, just do it. And I agree with them wholeheartedly. I always like overthink things. Brain and I both, we are such overthinkers. We can't like always make a decision on the spot. We always have to like think about it. And I think that that's good, but the more you think about it, the less likely you are gonna do it. So a couple of months ago, before the new lockdown and before the second wave of the virus, Bren and I started going to the gym, and at first we went every single morning, and before I knew it, we were back at gym for 10 weeks. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like we didn't even think about it. We just got up in the morning, we came back, we went about our normal day. So the less you think about it, the more likely you are gonna do it. So if you are thinking of doing something, don't think about it. Just get up and do it. Don't think about it, because otherwise you'll never do it. The sixth thing that I learned in 2020 was being indecisive is a waste of time. Procrastinating, being indecisive about something, it's just a waste of time. It's not contributing to your productivity. It kind of ties in with the previous one where, if you think about it too much, you are not going to do it. But indecisiveness is just such a waste of time. Just make a decision. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. You can make a different decision next time. It's not like life or death. So being indecisive is just, it's like messing with your productivity. It's messing with your time. And especially in 2020 and 2021, like the current situation of the world, we cannot waste time. And time is like the most valuable commodity we have. The next thing is giving others credit will take absolutely nothing from you. I kind of learned this all throughout the year, and with like seeing others doing great. I shared this in one of my previous videos where I showed the most glamorous woman for 2020, and celebrating other people. There is nothing that's going to be taken from you by celebrating others and like sharing others' work and lighting someone else's candle. Lighting someone else's candle will not put yours out. And although we feel like, you don't want to support someone because they're kind of like doing great already, like why do they need the support? Why do they need like the encouragement? You would be amazed at like what one little share does to your self-esteem, your self-credibility, like being able to say like, you know what, I might not be where I want to be, but I'm doing something right, and it's like baby steps. Personally, this year, one of the highlights for 2020 was when 𝘠𝘠𝘠𝘠 sent me this beautiful gift for the launch of her show called 𝘠𝘪𝘥𝘦𝘢, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like 𝘠𝘠𝘠 saw me, like she sent me a gift, like who am I? And nothing was taken from her to be able to say that I'm gonna give this person, Jessica, this gift because I think that she's doing great, or whatever she thought. But her candle lit my candle, and it took nothing from her. If anything, I think I added value because I did that amazing video, and I just personally felt so honored. So that's why I created that video in saying thanks to her. And I am just like, that is just me, like on a scale of 1 to Jace, like how over the top and how like, how OTT are you? The 8th thing that I've learned this year is it's okay to distance yourself from people and things that don't contribute to the person you want to be, not the person that you are. I feel like the person that we are sometimes, not wholeheartedly, but the person that we want to be and the person that we are isn't always the one and the same thing. You might be a little bit overweight and sit on the couch every weekend, and you want to be this skinny queen that goes on hikes and drinks her smoothies with her friends and like goes for walks on the beach. Not that we have a beach anywhere near where I live, but you know what I mean, like you get the picture. And you might have a significant other or a partner or a boyfriend or a husband that doesn't want to do anything with you, or you have friends that just want to go to clubs or to pubs or just like not the things that you also want to do. It's okay to distance yourself, not like cut off. It's okay to distance yourself from those things. And if someone, it might be a family member, it might, you might have to. I saw an episode yesterday of Chloe's Revenge Body where she divorced her husband because she just felt like she wasn't the same person anymore, and he wasn't like changing with her and like contributing towards her change. He doesn't have to change with her, but he's not contributing towards her change, and she left him and she started this whole new life and she's a whole new person now. So I feel like it's okay to distance or even completely cut off from people that just don't fit your future goals as a person, like how you want to be. Because what we spend our time on, what we listen to, what we watch, contributes to the person that we will become. Not necessarily like the person that we are, but the person that we will become in the future. Being tidy and organized and clean is not weird. I always felt like I was a little bit weird for being so like clean and like having things organized and having things tidy. And this year, with everyone sanitizing everywhere, I finally feel like I'm not weird anymore because everyone is doing it now. I always like take my shoes off when I walk into my house, and I don't like sit with outside clothes on my bed, or like I'm very clean and like almost like a germaphobe. So this year has kind of like made me felt less weird, and I wanted to tell each and every one of you that feel a little bit weird for being over clean or like over OCD, you are not weird. You are not weird. Just be who you are. My family and my friends always laugh at me for how like germaphobe I am. You are not weird. And then one thing that made me very happy this year was I bought the bag. Like, just buy the bag. I was able to afford a luxury designer bag for years now. Like, I have been wanting a designer bag for years and years, and I never bought myself one. I always looked at them. I always went into Louis Vuitton, and I just never bought myself a bag. And I got two this year. Life is too short. Just, if you can afford it, just buy the bag. And after I bought the bag, I started working even harder because now I want more bags. So to be challenged is nothing but a good thing. It doesn't mean that whatever you are doing is not good enough, but your boss or your colleague or your client, your significant other, your friends, your family might expect more of you because they know how great you can be, and you might think that your best is your best, but let me tell you that your best is not your best. I worked with a couple of brands this year that, I sent my content in for approval and they didn't approve it, and I felt almost like I wasn't good enough. But in return, that is anything but the case. They feel that you are better than your personal best. So I appreciate a good challenge. I appreciate that I was so challenged this year. I had to think a little bit more out of the box. I had to create content from this small little apartment for like 3 or 4 months that we were in lockdown, where we couldn't leave the house. And I feel like if you challenge yourself, just great things can come from it. So, and I mean, the quote that says nothing great ever comes from your comfort zone, and that is so true. So being challenged is nothing but good for you. One of the things that I learned this year was that we can't live without support. You know, we can't live without financial support. We can't live without physical support, emotional support. But support, no matter what way or in what form, it goes both ways. Just like I'm really appreciative of each and every one of you that support me and that, you know, support my dream, watch my videos, comment on my videos. I'm so sorry for the lighting that changed, but we're just gonna roll with it. Like I said, there is no perfect time for anything. But support goes both ways. I love like commenting on your posts, replying to your DMs, liking your videos, liking your photos, arranging giveaways to say thank you for the support. Let me support you back. And especially with every single industry you are in, you can't just always receive encouragement, receive support. Like, you need to give some of it back because it goes both ways. So if there's one thing that you do in this coming year that I want to share with you, that I learned and that I'm going to continue carrying into the new year, is that support just goes both ways. It's like a boomerang. It comes and it goes. You can't just keep on expecting. You need to support others as well in your way, like as you can. I spoke about change earlier, and I wanted to share this one with you where, you know, I learned how to change what I watched, change what I read, change what, you know, the things that I allowed into my ears, my eyes, my heart, like everything. Change the things you watch, change the people you follow on social media. I can't follow people that are constantly like negative and constantly like giving off bad vibes. That is just like, I'm quite the positive person. I like to speak into existence with positivity. I like to make people feel good about themselves. I like to be quite calm and relaxed. So I tend to not like watch things that are too like hyped up or too like anxiety like ridden. So as much as I want to be like a calm space and a calm environment for each and every one of you, I can't like allow those things into my mind, into my heart, into my soul, into my ears and my eyes, and expect to give you something positive. So you can't take in something negative. And well, I don't know, maybe you can watch some negative things. I watched Selling Sunset this year, and some of the girls were just very bitchy, and that kind of taught me how that looks. So you don't want to be that person, and I feel like watching those things sometimes can show you how not to act. So yes, sometimes it can turn a negative into a positive, but all I'm trying to say is just be careful what you listen to, be careful what you allow to enter your heart, your mind, like everything, like whatever you watch, listen to, all of those things, that contributes to the person that you are, the person that you are going to become. So be very picky with that. Be very, 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 very picky with that. And another thing that I wanted to share with you is something that you might not like might lead to healing. I personally don't like reading. I went to school for 12 years. I studied a degree for 4 years. So I had my time of reading and like books and stuff. So I feel like after I graduated university, I was just like over books. But I got this book I got it like maybe shortly after my mom's passing, and I started reading it again about 3 months ago, and I'm nearly at the end. I kind of read it like very, very mindfully what the book says. It's Mindfulness, Plain and Simple by Ollie Doyle. I will try and link it down below, but I got it at like a random bookstore. I'm pretty sure you can find it online. But what I wanted to say is that I found healing, some sort of healing, in something that I don't enjoy. I don't enjoy reading. I kind of enjoy it now because it gives me a sense of calmness. It gives me a sense of like relaxation, and I kind of like it now. But sometimes you'll be amazed at what you can learn with something that you don't actually like. Brain told me something the other day, and he said, sometimes I just realized that I need to make you my number one priority, period. And I almost like cried a little bit, but he is so right. Like, the most important person, after taking care of yourself and after replenishing yourself, after, loving yourself, after filling your own cup up, doing your self-care, loving yourself, doing your little things for yourself, the most important person other than yourself needs to be your significant other, your boyfriend, your husband, your fiance, like your wife. Like, literally, that person needs to be every single important thing in your life needs to include that person. And you need to take care of them. You need to make them your priority. And another thing that I wanted to share with you is that this year I realized that I have people that love me so much. I have friends and family and a fiance that loves me so incredibly much. And I'm thankful for that. I realized that this year. I realized it like across my birthday, and not just with material things. I'm quite like a material person. Like one of my most important love languages is like gifts and being spoiled and showing like love in that way. That's just how I am. I firmly believe that I'm a little bit of all of them, but like gifts and spoils, and it can be like a small thing like flowers or like a little candle or just something. Those things really like spark my joy. And with everything, not even like a physical gift, but like a date or a surprise dinner. And I realized this year that I have people in my life that truly love me. And yeah. And with that, we are nearly at the end. Number 17 is something new. Might look a lot scarier before you do it than when you've actually done it. Brain actually shared this one with me, and there's a lot of things that we've done differently this year. I mean, he quit his job. It was a little bit scary. We have so many other things planned in this coming year that's a little bit scary, and so many things that we didn't do because it looked really scary. Things that we weren't very sure of, but also things that we felt the exact same way and ended up doing, and then once we did it, we were like, really, was it that bad? Number 18 is timing. Timing is everything. You might get an email to go on a trip, work with a brand, but they want this trip to happen like in a week from now, but you don't read your emails, you don't reply to them in a week's time, and eventually they get back to you and say, oh, sorry, we wanted to do it yesterday, or the campaign just started today. So timing is everything. And number 19 is staying on top of everything, staying on top of things. And instead of, I personally love organization. I love to see my cupboard a mess, and then I kind of transform it and it looks really amazing. But what I've learned this year is it's so much better to just keep it organized. Brain hasn't organized his cupboard once this whole year because he keeps it organized. I kind of mess it up. As much as I'm organized, I love messing up things and having to redo it because I love that satisfaction. But keeping things in order and staying on top of things actually saves time, because now you don't have to take a day or two to organize all of your things. Staying on top of your emails allows you to save time in having to spend a day or two on your mails. So just if there's one thing that you didn't do in 2020 and that you want to bring into 2021 is to stay on top of things. It will save you so much time. 20 things that I learned in 2020, number 20. This year will be over before you know it. This was my last one, and it's one that I realized yesterday after going through all of my pictures to kind of see what I went through, see, what happened this year, what did I learn and all of that. And there's so many things that I still wanted to do. Obviously, because we were in a pandemic, we couldn't travel, we couldn't do certain things. So that's obviously the reason. But this year, 2021, will be over before you know it. So if you have a goal, chase it. If you want to do something, don't think about it too much. Just do it. Don't be indecisive. Don't procrastinate. Don't wait for the perfect moment. If you have something that you really want to do, spend every single day, a little bit, every single day towards that goal, and just be the best version of yourself and chase the person that you want to be. The person that you are right now might not be the person that you want to be, and that's okay. Like we are human beings. We always strive to be better, and we can do this together. We can do this journey together, and I'm really excited for 2021. Despite the challenges of the world right now, I'm really excited to see what it holds. I'm really excited to welcome more leafies onto this channel, to create more videos this year. I kind of counted I did a little count yesterday, and I posted 77 videos on this channel this year. And started a couples channel with my fiance and did 61 videos. And then I posted 261 posts on Instagram, where I share that to Twitter and Facebook as well. So kind of social media posts, 261 social media posts. And 129 of those were sponsored with brands. So I am very, very thankful for this year. We had some challenges. We had awful weather days like this where I couldn't really film. But this year I just want to look past those things and not try and always work through the obstacle and push the obstacle completely out of its way, but just work around a little bit. Just improvise, see what you can do better, see what you can do differently, and I'm excited to share this year with you. Happy New Year! I love you, leafies, so incredibly much. I would love to chat to you in the comments, and of course subscribe if you haven't yet, and then I will see you in the next vlog maybe. Mwah. Bye, leafies!